Our third pick in today's episode sees 7th place Newcastle playing host to 3rd place Nottingham Forest. And Newcastle, they really didn't look like themselves in their 4-0 loss to Man City last time out. Omar Marmoush scored a hat-trick within the space of 14 minutes in the first half to really announce his arrival in Manchester. In the second period, James McAtee added Manchester City's 4th. Numbers-wise, the win was as dominant as it sounds. The citizens won out on every major win predictor statistic, and maybe back to winning ways. In terms of form, it's now back-to-back losses for Newcastle in the Premier League, either side of successes in the domestic cups. The Magpies have also lost 3 of the last 4 Premier League matches, which has seen them slide down the league table and cast some doubts over a Champions League finish. They host a Nottingham Forest side who were bested in their last game by Fulham. Emil Smith-Rowe opened the scoring after a quarter of an hour, with Chris Wood levelling the scores up before half-time. However, taking a look at the numbers, Fulham did dominate proceedings, so perhaps it was little surprise when they retook the lead thanks to Calvin Bassey after the hour mark, with the Cottagers going on to claim all 3 points at a 2-1 win. In terms of form, it's been pretty mixed of late. 2 losses and 2 wins across all competitions. They've also lost 2 of their last 3 Premier League matches, losing by 5-0 against Bournemouth before putting 7 past Brighton, and then the recent loss to Fulham at Craven Cottage. One thing's for certain, the Forest games are exciting. In terms of the head-to-head record, the reverse fixture did see Newcastle pick up the win. Murillo opened the scoring for Forest and gave them the lead at half-time, but it was Newcastle that dominated the second period. They generated an XG almost 6 times greater than their host, so perhaps it was no surprise when Isak, Joe Linton and Barnes netted to complete the turnaround and pick up all 3 points, with the final score finishing 3-1. This result did make it back-to-back Premier League wins for Newcastle over Forest. They've also won 4 of the last 5 league encounters. My prediction for today's game is that I'm not really sure I can tip a side here. Both sides come into this match on pretty inconsistent form right now. It looks like Newcastle have had the better of the head-to-head record, but coming off a 4-0 loss, I'm not sure that they're going to be at the heights of confidence. However, with Chris Wood and Alexander Isak being the 3rd and 4th top goal scorers respectively, one thing I am keen on is goals. Newcastle have seen over 2.5 goals in each of the last 6 Premier League matches, and also in each of the last 6 Premier League games at St James's Park. Whereas Nottingham Forest, they've seen over 2.5 goals in each of the last 4 Premier League games, and in each of the last 3 games away from home. When we look at the head-to-head record, each of the last 4 encounters have seen over 2.5 goals, so I'm going to be backing over 2.5 goals for a full stake here in bet number 3.